After a long injury layoff since way back in January, the young winger Amad Diallo returns to training with the senior team. He is available for selection for that game against Bournemouth. Welcome to the Hotspot. My name is Webb. I am here to tell you why Manchester United should be excited about Amad Diallo's return, and no one should even think about loaning him out again in January. This is the hotspot. Now, Amad Diallo got injured in July at a time when we felt he was beginning to come and claim a place. I think his development, just like that of Garnacho, was almost hitting it at the same time. In fact, if anything, some would have felt that Diallo looked like he would hit it faster than Garnacho. But he gets injured in July and we see him off for a long time because knee injuries are always, bad. I think they are some of the worst injuries to be faced by athletes, especially footballers. And he's been off for a while, but him returning, first of all, for me, just does one thing. It sort of presents another opportunity for us to look at another young talent that we have had and perhaps have not been giving enough focus and attention at a time when we are trying to make a transition. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is coming in, and his Ineos group is already, sending representatives at Old Trafford to talk to everyone. They've got to talk to. So before Christmas, we'll get Ineos in, and of course, the major things they have got to think about are the young players and what more players we need to bring in, because Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe are in charge of football matters at the club. So the return of Amad Diallo for me now is perfectly timely, and I think Ten Hag has got to be putting him out there to compete and prove himself to everyone, because he had been denied that opportunity because of injury. The same way Kobe Maino got injured at the wrong time, exactly what was happening to Amad Diallo. But good enough, they both returned for me at the right, perfect time when we've got a January transfer window, which I don't think we should go all out into, sign a lot of players, because these youngsters actually that we have are the future of this club. We've got a couple of very exciting youngsters. Now, here's why Amad Diallo is one of those. First of all, Diallo's style of play is different. Besides him being a winger, he scores goals. We are talking of a winger who had 16 goal contributions in the championship playing for Sunderland. Now, that alone gives him an edge over Pelistri, who will also play mostly coming off the right. But even Anthony Dos Santos, the only thing Anthony has got over him is Anthony is more experienced, a little older than him, and he has been, of course, he's more elite. To some, he had got probably world class level at some point. He's beginning to bounce back to look like a shadow of himself at Ajax now. And when Amad comes in right now, he can certainly, for me, give him the right competition, because Marcus Rashford for me is not the competition for Anthony. For me, Rashford, I sort of have mentally written him off at Manchester United. In fact, for me, the best thing for Rashford should be for him to be sold in the next available window, because you can still get some reasonable man out of him. I don't see him playing better football than he played last season at Manchester United. He can play it elsewhere, not at Manchester United, not in the setting we have now that we've got Rasmus Højlund, who should be the man to score the goals. So for me, United should be more looking away from Rashford. So in terms of the right wing, because the left wing where Rashford was playing has already been claimed by Garnacho, that there is no debate about it. But the right wing is where, of course, the debates would be. If Rashford is to stay, should be competing with Anthony and now Amad Diallo on that left. Now, the thing that Anthony and Diallo both have over Rashford is them being left-footed. Now, for Diallo, going back to the boy, I feel like he does some of the things that Eric Ten Hag wants Anthony to do, perhaps with even more ease. The cutting in with his left, because he's an inverted winger. Like I said, he's left-footed. If he's playing on the right, that's where he usually comes from, he has got to usually cut in to the ball to his left and try to swing to the far a far ball to the far post, or try to push a bullet in the lower post in the corner. So that's what you expect from an inverted winger. The beauty with him, though, is he cuts deep a lot, and he's good. You see the way. Who was it? Musiala's goal that he got Bayern Man U, the champions. I think it was Musiala who got the ball from the wing, from the right wing, and he just cut inside and just took a bullet, and Onana couldn't deal with it. Now those are things that Diallo can do. He can dribble past bodies in the middle. He's comfortable running through the middle, which is not something you see from many players. I don't think Anthony is so comfortable with the ball on his feet and trying to run through the middle. He's more cutting and from outside. He does everything he does from the line, from outside. Diallo does things even from inside, which makes him a good player. That is why Manchester United committed to pay 40 million euros, including bonuses, in 2019 to Atalanta when we were signing him. That was a lot of money in 2019. If it were the same player now, maybe that could be 50 million pounds probably. That's how much, or 60 million pounds in the current market. So that shows you how talented this boy is. For me, he has come of age. The season he had in the championship, where he had 16 goal contributions for Sunderland, was enough for him to toughen up, because the championship is hard to toughen. But if he could score those goals in the championship, for me, if he's fit, and I know Eric Ten Hag knows how to return to prepare players. I like that about Eric Ten Hag, by the way. He doesn't rush players. Even with the pressure he has had, the reason many players are still not playing is because he wants you to be on the pitch when you're fully fit. Now, by the time he has returned to training with the squad, obviously he's fit. And for me, I expect actually to see a few minutes of him against Bournemouth. I do hope, even if it's 5 minutes at the end of the game, because this boy, trust me, is exciting, and he's one player who can change Manchester United. And again, what Eric Ten Hag has been trying to push for, have competition in all departments. Now, for me, this will look like competition for Anthony. Yes, Pelistri still is there as a right winger, but I think potentially, I think from what we've seen, I think Diallo is slightly ahead of Pelistri in terms of being there, just like you would say Garnacho, because they are all talented young players. But the beauty is we are now cleaning and trying to build for the future, because in the future, actually, this Sam Amad can actually play as a number 10, and he's good there, exactly where Bruno Fernandes plays. So as we look at transition, all these players, these young players are needed. We cannot have too many young players in the team. It's just how we balance them and keep introducing them slowly and surely. I will tell you, it looks like United, by the way, has got a bit of depth. If you look critically at the players we have and put back those returning from injury, you would realize that maybe United actually perhaps needs to sign, maybe for now, at least two more players. Three. Let's say three more players. A centre back, a holding midfielder, a solid guy. If Amrabat keeps playing the way he's looking like he's playing, maybe they can retain him. But a holding midfielder, a solid person to partner with Kobe Maino, because again, we can't rely on Casemiro returning, and what will he give us when he returns? Because he's over 30 and he hasn't been playing. So you think about that. If you add these other young players we have, for me, it's just the centre back, a serious, solid holding midfielder, a Maino like hold. Of course, there are not so many like him. Someone close to Maino, and a slightly older, more mature, and maybe a striker, a second striker. Dish out, let out Anthony Martial, bring in Sahu Girassi. He was again scoring goals against Borussia Dortmund, by the way. When Stuttgart was beating Dortmund, he was scoring goals again. This guy is only 17 million pounds. This should be the first guy we're going for in Jan. So for me, if I look at the young players, the Amad Diallos of this world, I look at the Pelistris we have, Mason Greenwood, Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho, Kobe Maino. Look at the young blood of players. Drop in a little experience. Bruno is still giving us a couple of years. He's still young, you would say. Drop in that bit of experience. Maguire is improving. I don't think there is any plan to let go of Maguire. If it was there, it can't happen, because Maguire is only getting better, by the way. Now Maguire is only going to keep getting better. That, trust me. He knows what to do. He's more comfortable now. He's being appreciated by everyone. Maguire just needs his Todibo to partner him. You've got Luke Shaw on the left. If Tyrell Malaysia returns fully fit, solid competitor for Luke Shaw on the left. On the right, already Diogo Dalot is giving Wan-Bissaka a proper run for his money. So Bissaka has got to step up his game. So that's again decent competition on the right. But also remember, if we brought in Todibo, he can also play on the right. So you see how the team is looking solid. In goal, Onana and Bindil, those are good, proper goalkeepers. Go midfield, Kobe Maino. Now that's where the star is. Who is going to partner Maino in the long? I think in the future, post Casemiro, need that solid person. If it's Amrabat and he has improved consistently, it's okay. There are not so many better than him anyway. We've seen those bought for so much money are failing to deliver. So you have your Amrabat. So you see how the future looks bright for United. Young players like this should be kept, and it is the time now to bring them together. That's why instead of thinking of loaning out Diallo in January, we should be thinking of bringing back Mason Greenwood as early as possible, so that they grow up together. We rebuild together, because we are in a rebuilding process, but also it's a fresh period because we've got Ineos now coming in, we've got new football directors coming in. You want everyone to be in and feel the energy and be a part of the energy. Imagine how it would feel when Ineos comes in and some of our core players for the future like Greenwood and Diallo are out on loan. They won't experience the atmosphere of a new guy who is breathing a new life into the club. So for me, bring the youngsters back. You can loan all the old guys if you want. Bring all the youngsters back. Let them come back and, of course, be a part of every minute of the rebuild we are having as Manchester United under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. Let me know what you think. Should Amad Diallo be loaned out or should he stay? I don't think we should even think about it. Diallo is the perfect competitor to push Anthony to the limit. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. Catch you later, fam.